Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host, Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family, what's happening, to the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on, and to New Life Evangelistic Center family headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work, and a shout out to our amazing cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have another great show because in the studio with me, I have an outstanding brother who has a lot of credentials behind him trying to make a difference in our community. And I'm speaking none other than, I call him Bill Monroe, but William Bill Monroe. And I'm going to just read a brief bio on William Bill Monroe. He's a graduate of Sudan High School, Vietnam-era veteran, former St. Louis police officer and detective of police, serves on the St. Louis City Board of Education, participated in the Million Man March in 1995, education activist, charter school developer, the Thurgood Marshall Academy Charter School CEO/director of the non-for-profit Harriet Tubman State of Missouri Certificate Missouri nonprofit. Welcome, my brother. How
Thank
are
you,
you?
brother.
Okay, then.
I'm humbled.
You're humble? That's
Yes.
a blessing, then. We
Yes.
all must, in my prayers, I always ask God, give me that spirit of humbleness
Yes.
and patience for sure.
Yes.
So with that said, Bill, I just want to, I always, when I have my guests on, I talk about people's personal lives, just a little history. And you have just provided a history of yourself, having gone to Sudan High School. How was that experience at Sudan High School, real quick?
Sudan High School was a magnificent school. And at Sudan, I'm proud to say that a teacher was responsible for my future. And I always mention his name. This teacher, Mr. Orville Tyler, my history teacher, he was a coach also. But he used to speak to the young black men in his class about avoiding service in Vietnam, and he helped save my life. Orville Tyler. I always mention a teacher. A teacher saved my life.
I know that's right, because I see that you had part of your bio too, Vietnam-era veteran. So you served.
I want to mention era,
Right.
because I would be dishonest to say I was a Vietnam veteran, because what they endured, I didn't. And that's why I call it era. I was in service to my country, I volunteered, but I'm a Vietnam era veteran. It's very important that word era comes in.
So what capacity and where did you serve your time? Were you United States bound, or did you work overseas
When I
or served overseas?
my teacher advised us that we were intelligent young men, and we didn't deserve to go and die on the battlefield of Vietnam. And he encouraged us also to take the test instead of being drafted or joining without any plans, to take the test, IQ test, before you join. And taking that test would give an indication as to what type of service you could give to your country. And that test saved my life. And when I took the IQ test, they were trying to get us all to go to Vietnam, but apparently the scores that I had enabled me to take a job of my choice. And I ended up spending 3 years in Stuttgart, Germany, during the Vietnam War. And I served in the 66 Intelligence Corps. I was an Army intelligence person in the U.S. Army.
Wow, you was working for the intelligence, man. Do I need to watch you, brother?
I had a top secret cosmic clearance.
Top secret. Okay.
Cosmic. That's a different level.
Okay.
Because we interviewed the illegal border crossers from East and West during that period of time. I was there in the 7th Army headquarters when the de Gaulle kicked us out of France, and I was in that corps during that Vietnam War.
Oh, okay then. So how was your experience there? I mean, were you, at that time in my mindset, first of all, I was trying to run away from anything on the Vietnam, as I shared with you early on, in terms of I was of the spirit of Muhammad Ali. No Viet Cong ever called me a nigga.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, yeah. But how was your experience as an intelligence agent?
Well, what happened to me was that I was the only black in the unit. So that can give you an idea of what I went through as far as race, because I fought racism all my life, and it started in the service of my country. And I endured some problematic situation in Europe, and it got me transferred like from Stuttgart, Germany to Hanau, Germany, and they were trying to put me in a place because they said I've become problematic in my failure to comply with many of these instructions they wanted to give me that were negative, and I fought it.
I know that's right. So how long did you serve, were you in the service?
I served my country. I served for the 3 years.
3 years,
Yes.
okay then.
Yes.
Now you also are a former St. Louis police officer and was the detective of police. How was your experience there, and how long were you a police officer?
Once again, race matters in all things. And I served as a St. Louis police officer and primarily in a narcotic unit. And I had problems in the police department similar to what I had in the Army, because I had had some problems, and I had a problem with white officers or white police officers dealing with my people on the negative side. And I had to combat there with white policemen who would not treat my people fair, and I got punished there. Okay.
Now you also had an altercation with somebody that you had to correct, right, on the force or something. We could talk about that on the other side of the break.
I hope you're enjoying the Zaki Baruti show. Now I want to share with you an opportunity where you can actually get a free newspaper, and we have a new issue that's right out. It's called United States 250 Years, 1776 to 2026. If you notice, it doesn't say celebrating 250 years, because many people have not been celebrating. They've gone through some real hardships, trials and tribulations. But in this particular issue, it shares stories of individuals that have overcome these. Many have been homeless. It's inspirational. It's challenging. It deals with a wide variety of issues, including justice and other issues. Also on the back, it answers the little girl's question of where can I find the NLEC TV app. You want to share the NLEC TV app with everyone. That way they can see the Zaki Baruti show, entertainment programs, inspirational programs, and programs dealing with the issues of the hurting and the homeless. You can even ask for some back issues that you might have that you have not yet experienced. So contact us at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Call us at 314-421-302. You can also read the paper online by going to nlecstl.org.
So many people are hurting and hopeless. They feel despondent and in despair. They are living on the streets in conditions that are horrible and not suitable for any human being. And it takes so many loving people to walk alongside them and give them opportunities to change. Zaki Baruti and his show is exposing the people who are making a real difference in our community. And he's been a faithful partner of New Life Evangelistic Center for many years. And I want to invite you to be like Zaki Baruti and make an impact in someone's life today. You can love others well, and you can do it in a meaningful and powerful way. I am so thankful for people who have partnered like Zaki, and I just want to share some of the impacts that you're really making when you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center. You're offering 365 days of care for a woman in need who's fleeing domestic abuse. You're offering not just care, but discipleship and mentorship and training services for her. Not only are you doing that, you're also getting hygiene kits and survival gears into the hand of people who need them, who are living on the streets of St. Louis. Not only that, but you're caring for orphans and widows in India, and you're preaching the gospel in every single one of these places, India, Ukraine, and all throughout mid-Missouri. You're also helping hundreds of people each day in the day center in Springfield. You're making a real impact on the lives of hundreds every single day. And you do that when you partner alongside New Life Evangelistic Center. along with faithful partners like Zaki Baruti. How I thank God for people like you for change.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is my good brother, William Bill Monroe. And we're going through different aspects of his life, and then we'll get to the nitty-gritty as to your present project. But on the other side of the break, I was talking about you being a St. Louis police officer and you were sharing the kind of racism you were experiencing there.
I got punished early on. I locked up a Catholic priest for sexually abusing some kids. And I got in trouble with the chief of police because they made me let the priest go. And I didn't like it. After that, I had, the chief of police wasn't very kind to me. I was on a certain list then because I didn't do as he wanted me to do.
Oh, okay.
And I had problems with white police officers in uniform. For a period of time, I was in uniform. And one particular time, around 1:30 in the morning, I was on my way back out of the station at the 8th District Station. And 3 white officers were bringing a brother up the steps in handcuffs, and they was treating him real bad. And our eyes met as I was coming out of the station. He was coming up, and I hope water doesn't come because it brings tears to my eyes sometimes. And we looked face to face, and he looked me in the face. He said, "Brother," he said, "please don't leave." He said, "They're going to F me up. Don't leave." And I said, "Oh, man." So the 3 white officers said, "Bill, this ain't your case. This is our case." And I looked at the brother. He said, "Don't leave, man. They're going to F me up." And I said, what's he charged with? He had a white girl in the car. It was his wife.
Wow.
And I was on my way somewhere, and my man said, "Go back right now." And I went around the corner back to the 8th District. And when I got there, they were beating him in the police station, in the report room, 3 white officers. And we used to carry nightsticks, had metal tips on them. And we were told, never hit a man in the head with these. You could kill a man, or you messing up real bad. And they had hit him, and this part of his ear was hanging off because when they hit him in the head, it tore off his ear. And when I came back into that station, I lit into them officers, and they stopped, and we fought. But I learned up front that physically I was superior, and I whooped this. I managed to overcome, and I whooped that butt. And
the 3 officers you were?
Well, the 2, the one that I was fighting, when they saw me and him fighting, they got back because I was putting some blows on him pretty tough. And I carried 3 guns at that time. I carried the .38 on my waist here, a regular weapon, and I carried a 5-shot holster up in here, and I carried a 2-shot stack barrel Derringer on my ankle because black officers had to be their own help. And I didn't need nobody's help when I got into something because I didn't expect any help. And that's why the other 2 didn't jump me, because I knew I was going to unleash something else on them. As long as we was fighting, I'm all right.
So did you get discipline or anything out of that?
I did.
Okay.
I got suspended. Of course, I got suspended 6 times on the police department, and primarily for fighting on behalf of my people. You couldn't abuse my people.
Okay, moving on from there, and we don't have to do a part 2 on this. You also were a member of the St. Louis City Board of Education.
Yes, sir.
How long did you serve?
I served 4 years as a member of the board.
Okay.
4 years, and
during your term of service, was there any, you can say, real positive impact that you had on the school board?
Yes, they tried to eliminate me from every position possible. That was one, because as you see even now, you don't see black men in education status. You see mostly black women. And there's a void of black men and teachers and that is a big void, and it exists today.
Okay, and so you were working to try to make that happen.
Yes.
Now, so moving forward, you brought here in the studio different photos that I'd like to kind of review. First of all, You are the founder or creator of Futures. Don't just happen. We launch them. So you're pushing a concept called the launch.
The lunch.
The
bag.
launch.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what happens is our children need a lot of help. And we've devised, a group has come together, and I'm very grateful for certain educators that have come together to help me put this together. And that's involving the repurposing of the Beaumont High School as a career center, as a place to address the unhoused in our community, and a dormitory, a place where they can eat, a place where they can live. And the Beaumont High School is an excellent place for that. It sits in a major transportation hub where our children can get back and forth.
And let
to
me
school.
interrupt you on
Yes,
that.
sir.
Just for our audience sake, some who be looking at this outside of St. Louis City, Beaumont was formerly a public school that is now closed down.
Beaumont is right now it's closed down for
Right.
all intents and purposes.
And you wanting to rebuild it
it's
as a, what kind of school?
right now I'm sitting at the table with the Board of Education, St. Louis Public School, and designing an MOU to repurpose the Beaumont High School to service as a dormitory and as an education center for our children, and the ones that are unhoused, especially in the 11th and 12th grade, and to launch them into their future.
And now, what is this memoranda of understanding? You're saying you're negotiating with the St. Louis Board of Education.
We're sitting at the table now with this paperwork to launch this, to initiate a partnership and a collaboration with the St. Louis Public Schools under the guidance of our nonprofit, where the children will come and be educated, but they're also going to be housed. Beaumont is a huge school, and we have designed floors, like one floor would be for the girls, one for the boys. You can't house them together. And collectively, we can serve the unhoused children in our community, as well as those who are attending school and who need food, clothing, and help.
Okay, on that note, we got to take another break.
Since 1972, New Life Evangelistic Center has been on the front lines, reaching out, helping the hurting, the homeless, the fatherless, the widowed throughout mid-America. Yes, although it's had its roots in St. Louis, it now has expanded throughout mid-America into India, Africa, Haiti, other places around the world. Oh, what a history New Life Evangelistic Center has. And we have many of these history books available to you, and they're right there on Amazon. And if we can help you get one of those, you contact us at 314-421-3020. But in addition to all that, we want to share a lot of that history with you right here as we take a look at how the work began and how the Lord has taken us throughout the years and the miracles that we have seen, all because of caring people like you. You're part of the history of the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're on the verge of miracles. Yes, New Life Evangelistic Center has a rich history, but there's much more yet to come. And that's why I'm inviting you to familiarize yourself with the history of the past and be a part of the miracles of the present. Yes, let the Lord God Almighty work in you and through you. Let Him do exceedingly beyond what you can ask or think. He's got a purpose for you. And we want you to be able to live out that purpose as you get directly involved in the history of New Life Evangelistic Center and what the Lord is doing now.
My name is Pastor Chris Aaron Rice here at NLEC, and we're so thankful for the viewers and the friends of Bernie Hayes and Zaki Baruti. We want to invite you to a very special event that's happening on September 25th here at the Royal Orleans Banquet Hall. New Life Evangelistic Center is hosting our Dinner to Make a Difference, and that's exactly what you can do when you register for this event. You'll hear from volunteers and partners who are invested in the work of New Life, along with those who are receiving the impact of this incredible ministry. We need your help, and so register today at nlecstl.org or call 314-887-8113. Ask for Ryan Hicks, and he will get you registered right away. Come to this special event and you will not regret it. Thank you so much for those who are partnering with us right now.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In the studio with me is William Bill Monroe, who's the creator and founder of The Launch, which is focusing on new opportunities for young, unhoused black youth in our community. So that there's, would you not say then that there is a really serious problem of number of youth who don't have no shelter?
We see a problem. We see that problem with some 6,000 children, young adults in our community, and many of them are unhoused. We see the great figure right now with the unhoused population, and when you see so many, it's not just the parents, it's the mothers and the fathers of these children, and they're also unhoused.
Right.
And they're also in the streets, and you see the population as we see it, where they're being arrested for all types of crimes and what have you, and we have to reach out and show some love.
Absolutely, absolutely. On that note, you also brought into the studio a variety of images that I'd like for the public to see. I'd like to see, first of all, as a former educator, or founder, shall I say, of the Thurgood Marshall Public Charter School, when was that in existence, and what happened? And that's a photo of you and your students at
in front of 4300 Goodfellow, we opened the Thurgood Marshall School, and it becomes problematic for, and I'll be very honest with you, for black people, especially black men, to obtain financing to do something good in that community. And I couldn't get financing from banks, and I had to engage the charter school management companies, which were all white, in order to facilitate some funding. And we got some sponsorship from UMSA, Missouri University, and it ended up being problematic because that university didn't even want to talk to the sponsor, which was the founder, which was myself. They would much rather communicate with the white management company, which did everything they could to stop Bill Monroe's presence in that school. And they did everything they could to take the school over. They bought my lawyer. They did all kind of negative things, and resulted ultimately in the closing of Thurgood Marshall. And when they closed, they had more than 1,300 children enrolled in Thurgood Marshall.
Wow, wow! And from what year to what year was this?
I'm gonna have to get the years together.
Oh, okay. But at least about 3 or 4 years. Then,
2
right?
years, two and a half years.
Okay,
yes.
then. And that's another image of students.
This is one place I was proud of. In that building, we had computer systems for our children, and that's one of them.
Okay.
And the management company even did all they could to stop me from taking pictures with my kids in there. They wanted no evidence of a black man being the sponsor and the originator of a school.
Now you also, right here at our table is you with some other students. Every time I see young students, as a former educator myself.
Not former, please.
Yeah, I thank you
Please.
for that. Former in public school setting.
Yes.
But for everybody
Because you
know,
remain in my heart an educator today.
right. And my name, just for the audience sakes, is Zaki Baruti, my
Yes.
cultural name, which means charitable teacher. Thank
Yes.
you for that correction.
Yes.
So this again is a beautiful photo. You also, for your vision of opening up the Harriet Tubman, the launch. You have some another photo I'd like to be projected, where the young people are wearing uniforms.
At this facility, our children are going to be partially living in these dormitories, but they're going to have to wear uniforms.
Okay, then good.
And
why is the significance of uniforms, real quick?
It's significant because many of our children have no clothing. They don't have resources, and the clothing that they have wouldn't be suitable. There'll be no pants sagging below the butt.
I know that's right.
There'll be none of that, and our young ladies will be dressed appropriately. that attend our school. There will be a cafeteria that will be working 24/7. We're going to have a cafeteria. We're going to feed our children, and irregardless of if you attend this facility, you'll be able to come and get a meal and a meal to take home. We're going to see to it.
And real quick before we have to take our last break, your projection, if you can make it happen, we know you're looking after the MOU. With the school district.
I'm in speaking, and I feel that I have the favor of the current administration, and we're trying to get ready before summer takes us over because this is a crucial time for our children.
Okay, then on that note, we're gonna take our next break.
Is anxiety becoming more and more a part of your daily living? Is it sucked all the joy out of you till worry begins to dominate your life? Then I want to encourage you to take the nature prescription that is given in Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 34. Experience the peace that passes all understanding as you move into the beauty of creation, meditating on the God who's created all this, letting His Word unfold in your life. When He says not to be anxious, don't be anxious, but consider the lilies. They don't go out here and toil and spin, and yet look at them in all their beauty, the flowers. Look at the birds. They don't worry about what they're going to reap and sow, and yet your Heavenly Father takes care of them. He'll also take care of you. But put first the kingdom of God. Jesus Christ, through His death and resurrection, made that possible. Commit your life to Jesus right now. Call upon Him in this day of trouble. He will deliver you, and you will experience His peace that passes all understanding, giving you the ability to stop worrying.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti with my guest, William Bill Monroe, and we only got a couple more minutes. And in those couple more minutes, I want our audience to see a couple more photos that you brought to the studio. One is with Mount Rushmore. Oh, wow, Mount Rushmore being changed, boy. I see you got Martin Luther King, the great doctor, and you see you got Brother Malcolm X, Al-Haj Malik El-Shabazz. You got that troublemaker named Harriet Tubman, and you got that great jurist on the Supreme Court, the first one who looked like us, Thurgood Marshall. Why did you create that? Real quick, because time is...
a friend of mine gave me this painting, and I brought it because currently this individual who wants to call himself president wants to put his face on Mount Rushmore. But this is the image that...
You mean that rump?
That
the rump?
Yeah, I have
okay,
to. I have to admit. Don't get me started. I'm trying.
All right. We'll be
I used
cool.
to be Wild Bill. I'm Tame Willie now, so I'm trying to. You're gonna start me.
Keep your tame.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, go
but
ahead.
this is my vision for our Mount Rushmore.
All right then.
Yes.
And last but not least, right here at the table again, this is you, and is that Biden?
Joe Biden. I had a meeting at Goody Goodies with Joe Biden, and I brought this picture where he promised me some help with my project, and instead there's another picture we got with, who's the president of Ukraine?
Zelensky.
Zelensky. You got another picture. Well, Zelensky got his favor because he got millions for war and nothing for education for our children in our community, and I thought this was important.
Wow. So you mean to tell me Biden tricked you?
Yeah. Well, he deceived me.
I may deceive you.
He deceived me.
I appreciate that correction. Now, finally, though, on the real serious side, for anybody who really buys into the concept of the lunch, where you be at the former vacant school building Beaumont, how can they help you? Give me your number real quick, because we only got about 30 seconds.
314-478-4441. 314-478-4441. And you can call me day or night. I'm open.
All right. Well, I appreciate you sitting in the chair, sir. And like to my audience, like always, I say for the different elections that's coming up, know the issues, but go out and vote and take somebody with you, as well as everybody need to belong to an organization that speaks truth to power and have a history of working to uplift humanity. We say, join the Universal African Peoples Organization. God bless.